Hey, welcome back. Today I'm going to be reading in Numbers chapter 8 through chapter 11, so grab your Bible and follow along or just listen with me as we get in God's Word together. So here we go with Numbers starting in chapter 8. The Lord spoke to Moses, "Speak to Aaron and tell him, when you set up the lamps, the 7 lamps are to give light in front of the lampstand." So Aaron did this. He set up its lamps to give light in front of the lampstand just as the Lord had commanded Moses. This is the way the lampstand was made. It was hammered work of gold, hammered from its base to its flower petals. The lampstand was made according to the pattern the Lord had shown Moses. The Lord spoke to Moses, "Take the Levites from among the Israelites and ceremonially cleanse them. This is what you must do to them for their purification. Sprinkle them with the purification water. Have them shave their entire bodies and wash their clothes, and purify themselves. They are to take a young bull and its grain offering of fine flour mixed with oil, and you are to take a second young bull for a sin offering. Bring the Levites before the tent of meeting and assemble the entire Israelite community. Then present the Levites before the Lord, and have the Israelites lay their hands on them. Aaron is to present the Levites before the Lord as a presentation offering from the Israelites, so that they may perform the Lord's work. Next, the Levites are to lay their hands on the heads of the bulls. Sacrifice one as a sin offering and the other as a burnt offering to the Lord to make atonement for the Levites. You are to have the Levites stand before Aaron and his sons, and you are to present them before the Lord as a presentation offering. In this way, you are to separate the Levites from the rest of the Israelites so that the Levites will belong to me. After that, the Levites may come to serve at the tent of meeting, once you have ceremonially cleansed them and presented them as a presentation offering. For they have been exclusively assigned to me from the Israelites. I have taken them for myself in place of all who come first from the womb, every Israelite firstborn. For every firstborn among the Israelites is mine, both man and animal. I consecrated them to myself on the day I struck down every firstborn in the land of Egypt. But I have taken the Levites in place of every firstborn among the Israelites. From the Israelites I have given the Levites exclusively to Aaron and his sons to perform the work for the Israelites at the tent of meeting and to make atonement on their behalf, so that no plague will come against the Israelites when they approach the sanctuary. Moses, Aaron, and the entire Israelite community did this to the Levites. The Israelites did everything to them the Lord commanded Moses regarding the Levites. The Levites purified themselves and washed their clothes. Then Aaron presented them before the Lord as a presentation offering. Then Aaron presented them before the Lord as a presentation offering. Aaron also made atonement for them to ceremonially cleanse them. After that, the Levites came to do their work at the tent of meeting in the presence of Aaron and his sons. So they did to them as the Lord had commanded Moses concerning the Levites. The Lord spoke to Moses, "In regard to the Levites, from 25 years old or more, a man enters the service in the work at the tent of meeting. But at 50 years old he is to retire from his service in the work and no longer serve. He may assist his brothers to fulfill responsibilities at the tent of meeting, but he must not do the work. This is how you are to deal with the Levites regarding their duties." In the first month of the second year after their departure from the land of Egypt, the Lord told Moses in the wilderness of Sinai, "The Israelites are to observe the Passover at its appointed time. You must observe it at its appointed time on the 14th day of this month at twilight. You are to observe it according to all the statutes and ordinances." So Moses told the Israelites to observe the Passover, and they observed it in the first month on the 14th day at twilight in the wilderness of Sinai. The Israelites did everything as the Lord commanded Moses. But there were some men who were unclean because of a human corpse, so they could not observe the Passover on that day. These men came before Moses and Aaron the same day and said to him, "We are unclean because of a human corpse. Why should we be excluded from presenting the Lord's offering at its appointed time with the other Israelites?" Moses replied to them, "Wait here until I hear what the Lord commands for you." Then the Lord spoke to Moses, "Tell the Israelites, when any one of you or your descendants is unclean because of a corpse or is on a distant journey, he may still observe the Passover to the Lord. Such people are to observe in the second month on the 14th day at twilight. They are to eat the animal with unleavened bread and bitter herbs. They may not leave any of it until morning or break any of its bones. They must observe the Passover according to all its statutes. But the man who is ceremonially clean is not on a journey and yet fails to observe the Passover is to be cut off from his people, because he did not present the Lord's offering at its appointed time. That man will bear the consequences of his sin. If a foreigner resides with you and wants to observe the Passover to the Lord, he is to do so according to the Passover statute and its ordinances. You are to apply the same statute to both the foreign resident and the native of the land. Okay, so I had to pause for a second and jot a note down, and I just wanted to share with you what kind of stood out to me in this passage. So we're in Numbers chapter 9 now, and in verse 8 where it said, Moses replied to them, "Wait here until I hear what the Lord commands for you." This was when he was talking with the men who were unclean because they had touched a corpse. So what really stood out to me about this was, here, I'll just read what I wrote down to you and what the Lord kind of put in my spirit, I believe. I wrote, Moses didn't just give a seemingly righteous answer. He waited to hear from the Lord. And I just wondered, how many times have I been asked a question or been in a situation where I've reacted to something, or really been in anywhere in my life where something has come up that I've had a response, whether it was with my words or my actions or my thoughts or my emotions. And I wondered, am I just having emotions or answers or reactions that are seemingly righteous at times? Or am I really waiting to hear from the Lord on how I should react or think or feel or, do any of those things? So obviously sometimes my actions are not righteous or not holy or not any of those things. But Moses, as a leader in this situation, could have just said something that seemed to be right. But he didn't. He waited on the Lord. So I thought that was really important. And we'll go ahead and start continuing in our reading. And I'm at this point on verse 15 of chapter 9. So Numbers chapter 9, verse 15. On the day the tabernacle was set up, the cloud covered the tabernacle, the tent of the testimony, and it appeared like a fire above the tabernacle from evening until morning. It remained that way continuously. The cloud could cover it, appearing like fire at night. Whenever the cloud was lifted up above the tent, the Israelites would set out. At the place where the cloud stopped, there the Israelites camped. At the Lord's command, the Israelites set out, and at the Lord's command, they camped. As long as the cloud stayed over the tabernacle, they camped. Even when the cloud stayed over the tabernacle many days, the Israelites carried out the Lord's requirement and did not set out. Sometimes the cloud remained over the tabernacle for only a few days. They would camp at the Lord's command and set out at the Lord's command. Sometimes when the cloud lifted in the morning, they set out. Or if it remained a day and a night, they moved out when the cloud lifted. Whether it was 2 days, a month, or longer, the Israelites camped and did not set out as long as the cloud stayed over the tabernacle. But when it was lifted, they set out. They camped at the Lord's command, and they set out at the Lord's command. They carried out the Lord's requirement according to his command through Moses. The Lord spoke to Moses, "Make 2 trumpets of hammered silver to summon the community, and have the camp set out. When both are sounded in long blasts, the entire community is to gather before you at the entrance to the tent of meeting. However, if one is sounded, only the leaders, the heads of the Israelites' clans, are to gather before you. When you sound short blasts, the camps pitched on the east are to set out. When you sound short blasts a second time, the camps pitched on the south are to set out. Short blasts are to be sounded for them to set out. When calling the assembly together, you are to sound long blasts, not short ones. The sons of Aaron, the priests, are to sound the trumpets. Your use of these is a permanent statute throughout your generations. When you enter into battle in your land against an adversary who is attacking you, sound short blasts on the trumpets, and you will be remembered before the Lord your God and be delivered from your enemies. You are to sound the trumpets over your burnt offerings and your fellowship sacrifices, and on your joyous occasions. your appointed festivals, and the beginning of each of your months. They will serve as a reminder for you before the Lord your God. I am the Lord your God. During the 2nd year in the 2nd month, on the 20th day of the month, the cloud was lifted up above the tabernacle of the testimony. The Israelites traveled on from the wilderness of Sinai, moving from one place to the next until the cloud stopped in the wilderness of Paran. They set out for the first time according to the Lord's command through Moses. The military divisions of the camp of Judah, with their banner, set out first, and Nahshon, son of Amminadab, was over Judah's divisions. Nathaniel, son of Zuar, was over the division of the Issachar tribe, and Eliab, son of Helon, was over the division of the Zebulun tribe. The tabernacle was then taken down, and the Gershonites and the Merarites set out, transporting the tabernacle. The military divisions of the camp of Reuben, with their banners set out, and Eliezer, son of Shedeur, was over Reuben's division. Shelumiel, son of Zurishaddai, was over the division of Simeon's tribe, and Eliasaph, son of Deuel, was over the division of the tribe of Gad. The Kohathites then set out, transporting the holy objects. The tabernacle was to be set up before their arrival. Next, the military divisions of the camp of Ephraim, with their banner set out, and Elishama, son of Ammihud, was over Ephraim's division. Gamaliel, son of Pedahuzur, was over the division of the tribe of Manasseh, and Abidan, son of Gideon, was over the division of the tribe of Benjamin. The military divisions of the camp of Dan, with their banner set out, serving as rear guard for all the camps, and Ahiezer, son of Ammishaddai, was over Dan's division. Pagiel, son of Okran, was over the division of the tribe of Asher, and Ahira, son of Enan, was over the division of the tribe of Naphtali. This was the order of the march for the Israelites by their military divisions as they set out. Moses said to Hobab, son of Moses' father-in-law, Reuel, the Midianite, "We're setting out for the place the Lord promised. I will give it to you. Come with us, and we will treat you well, for the Lord has promised good things to Israel." But he replied to him, "I don't want to go. Instead, I will go to my own land with my relatives." "Please don't leave us," Moses said, "since you know where we should camp in the wilderness, and you can serve as our eyes. If you come with us, whatever good the Lord does for us, we will do to you." They set out from the mountain of the Lord, and a 3-day journey with the ark of the Lord's covenant traveling ahead of them for those 3 days to seek a resting place for them. Meanwhile, the cloud of the Lord was over them by day when they set out from the camp. Whenever the ark set out, Moses would say, "Arise, Lord, let your enemies be scattered, and those who hate you flee from your presence." When it came to rest, he would say, "Return, Lord, to the countless thousands of Israel." Now the people began complaining openly before the Lord about hardship. When the Lord heard, his anger burned, and fire from the Lord blazed among them and consumed the outskirts of the camp. Then the people cried out to Moses, and he prayed to the Lord, and the fire died down. So that place was named Taberah, because the Lord's fire had blazed among them. And that word, it means blaze. So, contemptible people among them had a strong craving for other food. The Israelites cried again and said, "Who will feed us meat? We remember the free fish we ate in Egypt, along with the cucumbers, melons, leeks, onions, and garlic. But now our appetite is gone. There's nothing to look at but this manna." The manna resembled coriander seed, and its appearance was like that of, I don't know how to say it, but it's a yellowish, transparent gum raisin. The people walked around and gathered it. They grounded it on a pair of grinding stones or crushed it in a mortar, then boiled it in a cooking pot and shaped it into cakes. It tasted like a pastry cooked with the finest oil. When the dew fell on the camp at night, the manna would fall with it. Moses heard the people, family after family, crying at the entrance of their tents. The Lord was very angry. Moses was also provoked. The Lord asked So Moses asked the Lord, "Why have you brought such trouble on your servant? Why are you angry with me, and why do you burden me with all these people? Did I convince all these people? Or did I conceive all these people? Did I give them birth so you should tell me, carry them at your breast as a nursing woman carries a baby to the land that you swore to give their fathers? Where can I get meat to give all these people? For they are crying to me, 'Give us meat to eat.' I can't carry all these people by myself. They are too much for me. If you are going to treat me like this, please kill me right now. If you are pleased with me, don't let me see my misery anymore." The Lord answered Moses, "Bring me 70 men from Israel, known to you as elders and officers of the people. Take them to the tent of meeting and have them stand there with you. Then I will come down and speak with you. There I will take some of the Spirit who is on you and put the Spirit on them. They will help you bear the burden of the people so that you do not have to bear it by yourself. Tell the people, 'Purify yourselves in readiness, for tomorrow you will eat meat because you cried before the Lord. Who will feed us meat? We really had it good in Egypt.' The Lord will give you meat and you will eat. You will eat not for 1 day, not for 2 days, or 5 days, or 10 days, or 20, but for a whole month until it comes up to your nostrils and becomes nauseating to you. Because you have rejected the Lord who is among you and cried to him, 'Why did we ever leave Egypt?' But Moses replied, 'I'm in the middle of a people with 600,000 foot soldiers. Yet you say, I will give them meat and they will eat for a month. If flocks and herds were slaughtered for them, would they have enough? Or if all the fish in the sea were caught for them, would they have enough?' The Lord answered Moses, 'Is the Lord's power limited? You will see whether or not what I have promised will happen to you.' Moses went out and told the people the words of the Lord. He brought 70 men from the elders of the people and had them stand around the tent. Then the Lord descended in a cloud and spoke to him. He took some of the Spirit that was on Moses and placed the Spirit on the 70 elders. As the Spirit rested on them, they prophesied, but they never did it again. 2 men had remained in the camp, one named Eldad, the other named Medad. The Spirit rested on them. They were among those listed, but had not gone out to the tent, and they prophesied in the camp. A young man reported to Moses, 'Eldad and Medad are prophesying in the camp.' Joshua, son of Nun, assistant to Moses since his youth, responded, 'Moses, my lord, stop them.' But Moses asked him, 'Are you jealous on my account? If only all the Lord's people were prophets, and the Lord would place his Spirit on them.' Then Moses turned to the camp along with the elders of Israel. A wind sent by the Lord came up and blew quail in from the sea. It dropped them at the camp all around, there 3 feet off the ground, about a day's journey in every direction. The people were up all that day and night, and all the next day gathering the quail. The one who took the least gathered 50 bushels, and they spread them out all around the camp. While the meat was still between their teeth, before it was stewed, the Lord's anger burned against the people, and the Lord struck them with a very severe plague. So they named that place Kibroth Hattaavah, which means graves of craving. So they named that place Graves of Craving because there they buried the people who had craved the meat. From there, the people moved on to Hazeroth and remained there.